Two Manchester City teenagers might be competing for one place in Pep Guardiola's squad. Manchester City have two teenage centre-backs out on loan this season, and there could be room in the squad for one of them next season. Oumar Ba and Vitor Reis arrived at Manchester City in the same window earlier this year, and although both are now playing their football away from the Etihad, they could have an eye on making Pep Guardiola's squad for next season. The two 19-year-old centre-backs are only 3 months apart in age, and both are enjoying productive loan spells in a Big Five league this season. They are the two star names of a cohort of young defenders looking to make an impression at City. Ba joined from Real Valladolid for £5.2 million after a meteoric rise, playing just 13 games for the La Liga outfit in the first half of last season before City swooped for the Sierra Leone international. He is yet to get a chance at his parent club, spending the second half of last season on loan at Lens before moving to Nice this summer. Ba also had interest from Lyon, as well as clubs in England, which shows the potential that many clubs in Europe believe he has. He played the full game in both legs of Nice's Champions League, third qualifying round defeat to Benfica, and has done the same in their first two Europa League outings against Roma and Fenerbahce. He has also played 5 times in League One, although he has missed the last 2 domestic fixtures. Reis did get a taste of life at City after his £29.6 million move from Palmeiras. He has made 4 appearances for the club and played the full game against Wydad AC at the start of the Club World Cup in June. Given the competition at centre-back and the size of Guardiola's squad, there wasn't room to keep the young Brazilian around this season, and he was sent on loan to City football group club Girona. In Spain, Reis has played 7 of Girona's 8 games, missing the fixture with Athletic Club after he was sent off in a 4-0 defeat at home to Levante. Girona have had a tough start to the season, and their 2-1 win against Valencia before the international break was their first of the campaign. Back in Manchester, Guardiola's defensive options could be changing by the end of this season. Manuel Akanji is on loan at Inter Milan, but likely to complete a permanent exit next summer, while Nathan Ake is also expected to move on, either in January or at the end of the season. Ruben Dias and Josko Gvardiol are first choice at the moment, with John Stones as an excellent backup, although the England international is out of contract next summer. Abdulkadir Kusanov is also an option there, but has mostly played at right back this season. If Akanji and Ake go and Kusanov continues to deputise at right back, there will likely be space for another centre-back in the squad next season. Ba and Reis might have their eye on it. The former has the benefit of European football this season, adding to his experience, but Reis has played first-team football for City. The Blues will also have more detail on his performances for Girona as a result of the CFG links. For now, all either can do is keep their place in the team at Nice and Girona and keep on impressing, with the hope of a return to the Etihad next season. Back in the game. Why Manchester City are hosting gigs at the Etihad again? Manchester City will have gone 3 years without hosting concerts at the Etihad when The Weekend and Take That play next summer. The last time The Weekend played at the Etihad Stadium was the same night that Manchester City's footballing dreams came true. Pep Guardiola's side won the Champions League in Istanbul for the first time in the club's history, while the Canadian singer was thrilling his own fans in Manchester in June 2023. It feels fitting then that The Weeknd will be one of the first artists back next summer when the stadium hosts concerts for the first time in 3 years. With work on expanding the North Stand that started in 2024 set to be completed in the coming months, City want 2026 to kickstart their next chapter as one of the city's premier music venues. In the meantime, they have already played their part in creating another. Co-op Live, the UK's largest indoor arena with a capacity of 23,000, sits next door to the Etihad and City Football Group, are majority shareholders in it. As well as welcoming famous stars from Sabrina Carpenter and Billie Eilish to Bruce Springsteen and Barry Manilow in the 18 months it has been running, the arena also hosted the 2024 MTV EMAs in November and has the Brits signed up for the next 2 years. Having made such a big impact in such a short space of time, it's fair to ask if City's owners needed to host concerts at the Etihad as well. The reality is that being able to offer both venues gives them the biggest chance of making use of their space. Some bands and artists may prefer the bigger capacity of a stadium for commercial reasons, and others deliberately choreograph their tours to be in bigger venues. With City having built up a competitive advantage over noisy neighbours United and Liverpool in the ever-growing battle to make money, they are determined to keep pushing on as they move towards completing a hotel, a new fan zone on site, to make the Etihad campus an entertainment destination all year round. We're different to Spurs and Real Madrid in that we haven't got the retractable pitch, so they have more versatility to do things in the season. But from our perspective, opening up that window to be as wide as possible in the summer months as pitch technology evolves as well is something that we're really focused on. We have other football stadia very close to us of similar capacity. All of them have their ambitions, but we do still have a competitive advantage in terms of the artist views and experiences of the stadium and the space around it, and the connectivity and proximity to the city of Manchester. That gives us a bit more of an edge compared to some of those venues. We're a modern venue and we continue to invest in it. Manchester City star Erling Haaland's Norway nightmare after double penalty. Erling Haaland missed 2 penalties for Norway in their World Cup qualifier against Israel on Saturday, but later redeemed himself on the pitch. Manchester City striker Erling Haaland squandered 2 spot kicks for Norway during their World Cup qualifier against Israel on Saturday. Norway were handed a penalty in the 5th minute after a foul by striker Dan Byton. Haaland, who took responsibility from 12 yards, witnessed both his original and retaken efforts denied by keeper Daniel Peretz. Polish official Simon Marciniak demanded the first penalty be retaken after determining that Peretz had strayed from his line. For Haaland's second attempt, Peretz anticipated correctly once more and pushed the shot aside. Nevertheless, the visitors awarded the hosts their first goal in the 18th minute through Anand Kalaili before the City striker made amends by extending Norway's advantage just before the half-hour mark. Shortly afterwards, Israel presented Norway with their third goal. Haaland then netted twice in the second period as he sought to guide Norway back to the World Cup for the first time since 1998. Qualifying for the World Cup would be like a big nation winning it, he previously said. It would be the biggest party of all. Norway control their own destiny with a perfect record of 6 wins from 6 games. Should Italy drop points against Estonia or Israel, the Scandinavians could clinch qualification with 2 matches remaining. They lead Group 1 with 18 points, whilst Italy are tied on 9 with Israel. Norway will take on Estonia and Italy during November's international window. Since 2020, Haaland has netted an impressive 51 goals for Norway in just 46 matches, reaching the 50-goal milestone in international football quicker than renowned players such as Harry Kane, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe. Tijani Reinders leads quiet Man City revolution under Pep Guardiola. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola has changed some of the players he uses most at the club this season after a busy transfer window. If you had to guess which player had featured the most for Manchester City this season, you might struggle without a headline giving it away. Tijani Reinders has provoked mixed reviews for his start to life at the Etihad, yet he has been seen more than any other player. That fact underlines the level of change at the Etihad when a summer signing has been the most used by Pep Guardiola, and there are 2 other 2025 arrivals who are among the top 10 most used. Gianluigi Donnarumma has shot up to 7th in the list and will surely climb higher barring injury, while January by Nico Gonzalez is also in at 8th. That adds a flavour of freshness to the City side, and also much needed replacements from last season. Ederson, Ilkay Gundogan and Manu Akanji were 4th, 6th and 8th on that list, but all departed in the summer. Some continuity in the list comes in Erling Haaland, Ruben Dias and Bernardo Silva. All 3 feature in the top 6 so far this year, as they did in the last year, while Phil Foden also climbs up to 5th place from 9th place, and Josko Gvardiol has dropped from top to 9th. Otherwise, new entries are Nico O'Reilly 4th and Jeremy Doku 10th, with Rico Lewis and Mateo Kovacic falling out of the top 10. Lewis hasn't started a league game since Tottenham in August, and Kovacic hasn't played a single minute yet after Achilles surgery in the summer. The players Guardiola has used the most has welcomed new faces into the team, but has also quietly brought the age of the team now. From an average age of 26.9 last year for the starting core, that has now come down to 25.1. That may not seem like much difference. Age doesn't matter as much as who can kick the ball in the net or keep it out of the net. But given the manager's concerns last season about being overrun in midfield age, does become an important factor, and small changes can make big differences. Part of Hugo Viana's remit when he came into the club in January to succeed Txiki Begiristain as sporting director in January was to bring down the collective age of a team who had grown old together. Gonzalez and Abdulkadir Kusanov were brought in at the start of the year, and Kevin De Bruyne was allowed to leave on a free transfer before the summer transfer window had opened. Reinders, at 27, will not dramatically bring any team averages down on his own and is one of the players, like Omar Marmoush, who have been brought in as established players looking to take the next step in their careers. Reinders, being 6 years younger than Gundogan in midfield, could make a significant difference. His running helping the team even if radar for goal could have been better since the opening day. City refreshing their team, and squad may not be the biggest story around them this season, especially if Erling Haaland continues to score at an astonishing rate. But their transition under Guardiola and Viana is showing promise. Life and death, how Erling Haaland became even better at Manchester City. Striker Erling Haaland is in the best form of his life, and a number of changes in the last year have helped